there we go. I think that's everything on that particular thing. Stream health. Sweet. I think we're in a good spot. I think. There's a lot of thinking. Too much thinking. Right. Okay, so, hello, and welcome. I'm just going to adjust the sound level a bit. Not majorly. Hopefully it's not too... Actually, to be fair, this isn't too bad. We're actually quite reasonably loud. Let's have a look-see. Recording, tonal 777. Sound level's at 66. Let's put it to 70. Let's push this to 70. 70 is a pretty solid position. And hopefully the games that I play don't fuck around and like cause more problems. Advanced. No. Perfect. Yay. Lovely. So yes, hello. And welcome. Welcome to another live stream in Star Citizen. So, welcome to... Hang on. Get this sorted. Jose. Yeah. So, welcome to our little old live stream. Today, we are going to be playing some Star Citizen, and I'm going to be doing a bit of a field trip. So, previously I was attempting to do the shooty shoot, which obviously, you know, has a mixed success rate. And the last stream, while it did go well enough, it could have been better. I'll be brutal. It could have been better. But, that's more down to the computer rig than anything else. But still. So, today, we're going to hop over to, well, to be fair, I'm starting from Bajini points. We might as well have a fuck around with, Artcore. And basically, what I'm going to have what I'm going to do, for today's stream is I'm going to primarily be aiming to explore the realms and try and see if we can get some good loot. Because there's a number of areas inside Stanton's system which might have some good loot for us. And obviously, because everything's not persistent going into the next patch, it's almost pointless. You could argue, it's pointless looting it. But I kind of think it's a nice opportunity to see what kind of loot you can grab, and then hopefully it might incentivize in future patches to for us to basically go do that more. So we're having a little bit of an explore, and then obviously, depending on how quickly things go and how things affect, we may be able to do some missions.
CDF has been activated to assist with a local emergency on the planet of Crusader. The Ninetales gang have seized control of several platforms outside of Orison, and the CDF needs any available volunteers to help resecure them. Consult your contract manager to sign up.
The fuck? Siege of Horizon, what? Eh? Fuck. Okay. Like, alright. I mean, we're not gonna do it. Wrong hole. But still, it's available. To be fair, this is also kind of a test to see how my rig can survive the streaming at 48 frames per second. Because if we have a good stream, obviously, track. Right, let's see what we can do, shall we? So this is the first time I am streaming at 48 frames per second on the rig. I'm hoping this will be a decent one. Alright. Oh god. I see. Right. Oh yeah, I forgot we were Red Eyes. And that I had loot.
Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
I mean, we can keep the ship, I'd say. Actually, more importantly, we should probably try and save some credits and try and get the, take the helmet off. Pop that in there. Eat one of the apples. split one of the apples off. Pop that in your hand. Really? Really? Come on. Is Star Citizen being a bit of a poofar today? He thinks it is. Oh, that reminds me, I need to probably get my Cutlass Black. Because myself and Nimbus, we hopped on Star Citizen a few days ago, and we had a lot of fun, but we went to this one area which had a very glitched out... oh, I did cut it. I did request it. Good, okay. I did request... we basically went to this one zone. Hello. And while it did have destructible turrets, for some reason the game decided, hey, do you know what's really fun? Respawnable turrets within 5 minutes. So, yeah, not the most fun in that particular regard. Well, there's my phone going off. And apparently it's an instant message, because, you know, that's fun. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. Put you on mute so I don't have to worry about the sound. Sorry, my character just staring endlessly into this hot dog. It's like, I am eternal. Anyway, so there we go. Chug, chug, chug. There we go. Perfect. No, we're going to put that back in the bin. Oh, fine, it disappears. Since it disappeared, I'm going to claim it's fine. So no, basically the turret decided it wanted to respawn after like barely 5 minutes. So we weren't really able to fully maximize the efficiency of the loot. To be honest with you, might as well. Yeah, I mean, I got shit with me. I've got spare mags, so I've got. I'll take the AO3 and pop that over there. Put that in there. It does at least we have the Tau Plus ×4, which is really good actually with the AO3. I have the PL6. To be perfectly fair, I'm looking forward to patch 3.18 more and more now. Like, to be fair, actually, in terms of gaming news, there is some really awesome games coming out. Some awesome patches for games coming out. I mean, what was it? We've got obviously 3.18 for Star Citizen, which, you know, is a big, awesome patch. I'm very much in favor of that. We've got then the next thing we've got is does it say anything? No, we need to probably go here, don't we? Yes, got this back. So the next awesome thing we've got is Dark Tide coming out, which admittedly is not a patch, but it is a game that I'm looking very much forward to. It's coming out in November, and I'm fucking craving that game because the soundtrack is amazing. The combat looks absolutely... I mean, it's basically Vermintide but 40k, but it's not just... It's a mixture of both similar game mechanics in regards to like the squad-based combat and whatnot for Vermintide, but then the awesome, very well written, very well versed, and atmospherically beautiful systems of the 40k universe. And the most important thing, personally of all to me, is that this particular game has the las gun. And they were talking about the fact, and they said it in the fucking, in the most recent stream I saw that they did. They were talking about how, like, they don't just want to have generico las gun and that be it. No, they want to have, like, they want to have all the different patterns of las gun available. And I'm just like, I fucking love you guys. Because as always, as any particular 40k fan knows, there isn't just one type of las gun. There is fucking tons of las gun. Which, of course, you know, I'm a absolute huge fan of. Because, you know, why wouldn't you be? What else? Now, going back to patches, we also have got a patch for a game I haven't played in a while, but I am a big fan of, or even more of a big fan of now, which is Foxhole. Foxhole is, for those who don't know, Foxhole is a top-down shooter. not like top down as in 2D, but sort of like angled down, if that makes any particular sense. And basically, you're just a random little soldier inside the whole, like in a particular war scenario. And it's like it's sort of an alternate alternate 20th century warfare, and your objective is basically, well, effectively, is to contribute to the selected faction. So you can either be the Wardens, which are the blue guys, who are the superior guys because they're awesome, not biased at all, whatever you say. And they basically have to defend their realm or attack, depending on where they spawn. To be fair, I'm not entirely sure how they explain it when they swap the sides over, but primarily it's a one versus t'other, and you can either play for the Wardens, who are these sort of a mixture between France and Germany with European accents, versus the Colonials, who are a mixture between America and Russia, with the sort of like mass conscripts and like massive sort of things going all around and stuff like that. Like it's incredible. Wala or Lyria? We might as well go. I think we went to Good Times Temple. I'm going to go for Good Times Temple. Let's do a little bit of an exploration. So the point of the war, the unique thing about Foxhole though, is that unlike loads of other sort of war games, as it were, you're not solely dependent on having to fight in order to contribute to your war effort. In fact, sometimes you can go through. I'm fairly certain you can go an entire war without firing a single shot. Because the point of the game is that you serve in all aspects of your army. You know, you can serve in obviously the front line, the tankers, the boaters, all that jazz. You can be partisans, sneaking behind your enemy lines. You can man artillery pieces, anti-tank guns, drive vehicles, that sort of thing. But then you can also play the engineers, who are the guys who just, building. You can just play an engineer role where you can basically just build up defenses using resources and like digging trenches and whatnot to make the best line of defenses possible, to be able to provide your army with the most cover or whatnot. And then finally, on top of that, which is the area that I got bitten in quite badly, you could play the logistics corps, where basically your job is to either grab as much materials as possible from the ground. You get as much scrap, or the term scroop is what we use, and you build the resources you build the resources that fund the army, because everything in the game, in terms of like equipment, weapons, and other jazz, is constructed by players. So you really feel the material cost if, for example, one faction has a major breakthrough on the front lines and blows up a couple of buildings, or if you have for example, capture a location which is close to a scrap field, you can really feel the real pain about it. And it's a great multiplayer experience throughout the whole thing, because it just emanates with fun, which at the end of the day is, it's an incredibly fun and addictive game. And again, you can. And if you purchase I think there's a slight glitch with the UI at this point. Yeah, it must be, because I've not seen that particular thing before. Anyway, if you basically roll into the game, if you're running Logi, for example, in my case, you may get bitten by the Logi bug, and it results in you just finding the main fun out of just trucking to the front. And obviously Logi isn't just getting to the front lines with your supplies. You can go into the factories, you can produce the stuff. You've also got gathering scrap and all that jazz. So there's things for you to do. But the new patch that's coming out is going to add so much more. You're going to have factories to be, there's factories you can build, there's train lines we can build, there's like refineries, there's fucking train lines, you can man the train thing, you can build the train. Oh my god, it's literally Factorio, but in Foxhole. Foxtorio is the jokes that some people are making, and like some people are probably looking at it going, why would you want to spend all your time just driving a fucking train around? That's so boring. Blah 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 blah. Is that a bunker or is that a base? If it's a base, then I think we are going to have to. Yeah, that looks like a temple. A temple. That looks like a bunker. That's fine. Yeah, yeah. That's fine. We're gonna put a giant fucking series of mountains between us and the area. Though sadly, I was hoping to be able to. I'm just sneaking up. If I park my ship too close, is it just... Yeah. Yep, is what I thought. Okay. If I park this intelligently enough in an area that I won't end up getting fucked over in... Yeah, multiple spawning.
Engines offline.
Right, let's see where the option is to open up exteriors. Well, I wasn't expecting to see the underside of the planet, but okay. I was primarily wanting to see if I could jump on and off. Right, let's have a look. Alright, let's have a look. Right, let's close you. And let's close you. The primary thing I don't want to do is I don't want to end up getting stuck on this planet. Right. Can I get on this planet? Yes, I can. Fantastic. Right, and you fucking should be able to blow my goddamn ship up. Because if you do, then I'm not playing Star Citizen. We're going to hop to another game. Yeah, Star Citizen's been a little bit less than cooperative lately, which I can't exactly attribute too much fault. Well, no, I can. It's been a bit of a bitch, but to be fair, this is how it is with Star Citizen. Some days it works like a charm. You're feeling the love tonight. The frames are smooth. People love you. And all that jazz. But then there are other days where it's like, you know what? Fuck you and everything about you. There's a giant fucking mountain in between us and the target. You are not allowed to blow it up. I will say, this is very pretty, though. Ooh. And I'm loving these frames. So the reason why we're doing this is because, well, basically, if you're playing regular Star Citizen stuff, like the missions and whatnot, your level of loot that you'll be able to gather is actually determined quite a lot by what the level of the mission you have. So if you're... Yeah, it's fine. So if you're running into an area, for example, that is... If you're doing like a level 1, level 2 mission, you're not really going to get many decent quality contracts. But if you're running like level 4 or 5, you're probably going to find that the loot quality in this is well nice. Like, is absolutely brilliant. Right. I'm curious. I'm probably going to die doing this, but fuck it. Right, well, so far, I'm not being murdered, so that's one good sign. Am I making hits? Yeah, I am hitting that right thing. Cool, cool. I don't know how much ammo this thing's got. But if it's enough to blow this up... Yeah, I'm seeing smoke. Come on. Come on. Come on, explode. I don't have any rocket launchers or anything, so if we don't have... I'm hoping to see something with an explosion. Yeah! I think we got it. No? Must be getting... Yeah, it must be smoke. Yeah. Right, one more time. A little bit more of a burst. We're getting little explosions here or there. To be fair, I'm not entirely sure how large the magazine capacity is on these particular drone things. Because bearing in mind, it's only like a size 1 mini. It's only a size 1 ballistic with like a... There is a limited ammo supply in this thing, unless they've decided to attribute these things with an infinite... can't speak. Unless they've decided to attribute these... Yeah! Fuck you! Right, now let's let's waste the rest of the ammunition on you. On targets I can see. If we can get like railgunner technology though. Yeah. Right. I mean, to be fair, if we could get more bombers, that would be great. Like smaller bombers, that would be cool. I mean, again, I'd also like to exchange the torpedo slot for a bomber slot. Not gonna lie, that would be kind of cool. What's also nice is I'm not getting a crime stat for any of this. They say it's a restricted area, but it's only restricted because nobody wants to. This is a really good machine gun. Only thing I'm not a huge fan of is the recoil. I mean, I know they've got to try and simulate some kind of difficulty when it comes to aiming, but like this position with the minigun. Right. Oh, that's the first explosion. I mean, I know if I get a railgun, obviously... Is he gone? No, it's still nuked. I don't think I'll be able to see all of those turrets, sadly. But obviously, if this is also just a test to see whether or not the turrets will respawn, or whether that one occasion that we had with my friend of mine was just a once-off. Because obviously, we want to make sure... I'm seeing a lot of smoke, so it is definitely going. That's the second explosion, so we've got one more explosion to go, which is hopefully going to be the penultimate Duke-a-Duke. Okay, there's... You better not have exploded. All I'm gonna say. I mean, to be fair, I should have been shot at this point. I mean, technically speaking, I should be considered an entity inside a vehicle, so... Yeah! Kazook, bitch. Right, are you... Oh! Okay. This could be good. This could be a sign that I could actually land my ship next to the port. Obviously, if there's one last at the top, if there's like one last at the front, or whatever, then we're obviously going to have to adjust. But then again, I could possibly take the Redeemer out for this then. Because if these turrets are in fact destructible, and it's not, and it's just the game being a bit awkward, then obviously, actually that's a good point. 1 second, I just thought, how's my oxygen levels? Really? Was gonna say, like, I appreciate somehow being able to. You better not have respawned. Right. How much? Can I just ask, how much fucking ammo has this thing expended already? Seriously. Like, I'm grateful that I can blow these things up. I'm not gonna question that. But I am kind of curious as to why I'm not, like, seriously. That's the first explosion. At least I know you can actually blow those things up with the turret, which is a good thing. Because the thing is, what I can do then is, obviously, for future, for future areas of exploration, I can basically nuke the turrets from afar with the more extremely powerful cannons. I'll have to be reasonably decent with my aim, but I can actually, you know, hit the fuckers. They really do need to revitalize how to do. Okay. Right, they're still shooting at it, which means hopefully. So what I could do is the worst case scenario. Has it? Oh, we're cool. I think we got it. I think I nuked it. Is it nuked? Ow. What just happened? I don't know. Is it kazooked though? Is the more important thing. I'm not entirely sure how I got shot. Am I being targeted by a player? Are you fucked? No. Because you look a lot more like you're destroyed, whereas that obviously... Is that destroyed? It does look like it's fucked. Yeah. So there's apparently an additional... Ah. Well, there you go, there's the answer. So there is actually one more of these bastards around, but it is on the far side, which does give me the idea that I could potentially move up, and just as long as I'm quick, yeah, as long as I'm quick. Are you also out of it? Yes, you are, and you're not respawning. Good. Right, let's do this test. So it's a little bit of a risk, but I do have the ship, so I can fly around a bit. I can use these buildings as cover. And I can basically deploy my shit on the point. Though again, I am a little concerned if these turrets do have a respawn timer, because if they do, and I'm downstairs minding my own business, then obviously it's going to be a bit of a problem. But at the same time, it's also like I've blown them up, so for at least a little bit more of this server's lifespan, you can allow me to. It shouldn't be able to respawn the turrets. Or at least, it shouldn't be able to respawn them for a very long time, i.e. when I fucked off. And not just because I've left this initial area. Like, you know what I mean. Like, there's a fair amount of bullshit that happens in these particular games. And I realize that there is a point where you have to reset things in order to stop the server from being, you know, dull or whatever. But at the same time, it's also like, I like the fact that the game, you know, it's nice that if the game kind of respects those who do arrive on time first. Because obviously you've spent the time, like, well, I've just spent the time basically destroying all of those other turrets. So the least I want the game to do is to make sure that the turrets remain destroyed whilst I'm attempting to retrieve my ship. And obviously for future reference, I'll probably bring the Redeemer because that'll have the faster means to destroy those turrets. But I will also say that aiming from space to ground combat is a bit atrocious, to say the least. Mainly because it is just so egregiously difficult to shoot at a goddamn target on the ground. Because you have to... Because not only do you have to, like, target the damn thing, which, you know, targeting it is one thing, but the fact that the guns don't acclimatize to it, you better not have respawned. Right. Okay, so it doesn't matter. They will respawn. That is a bad decision, Star Citizen. I am not happy. Right, looks like we're just going to have to take what we can get in the backpack and just constantly ferry the shit back and forth. That's a bit shit. Like, it makes you wonder, what was the fucking point of me destroying all that stuff? Oh, you better not be serious. You're behind cover. I'm seeing the laser impacts. If that goes up... You really try my patience, Star Citizen. Right. You're really trying my patience. At first I thought it was going well. Then this happens. You all saw that. Well, all those who do decide to watch this stream. Recorded, live. I was behind how many hills? Like, one giant fucking hill. I could see the laser impacts on the fucking surface of that area. It was aiming into the ground. Into the ground, and it still blew up my ship. Into the fucking ground. So, yeah. These turrets, not only do these turrets respawn, but they cheat. I would say that these turrets are bugged, to say the least. Right, well, because I don't want to spend forever just constantly, like, finding a place to fanny arse around, we are going to try and explore this place, because I'll be damned if I don't at least find some loot that I can just, you know, save, you know, get out onto the menu for. But I may decide to hop to another game just because I think this is taking the royal frack and I want to have some fun and not, like, have the game fuck with me. So, we are going to explore this zone, and I am going to keep my eyes peeled in case there is anyone here. But we may hop to another game. Because it is being a bit of a bitch. I think this particular patch is good, and it's also quite bad. I've had a kind of bleh experience with this particular patch. I've enjoyed it because of the ground combat. But this feels more like... The more I play this patch, the more I feel this is a filler. More than a... that's a gun on the ground. I will be careful. But no, the more I play this patch, the more I feel that this patch feels like a filler. Like, we've got, you know, really good quality ground gameplay, which I'm not going to complain about. It is fantastic. But it feels like at the moment, I'll wait until... But at the moment, it also feels like there's not really... tractor beam attachment. Grab a couple of these. Wow, just OG combat knives. Nice. Right, I've already got half of this stuff, that's fine. Because at the moment, because we know we're getting another wipe for 3.18. I'm less, you know, things like looting and shit does feel a bit pointless. We've also got the issue that, I don't think reputation is being reset, which is obviously a nice thing. Right, what we got? But again, the loot system is, a fucking course I'd get a Democo. That's what I mean! Woo! That's the wrong thing for that, but I got a fucking Democo. I haven't seen that in fucking years. Holy shit. Okay, scratch that. Months. But still. Democo. Motherfucking Democo. That is a rare find. And of course, I'd get it when I'm trying to fucking... That's awesome. Genuinely happy about that. And we've got some kind of new scope as well. Theta Pro 8 times. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to... I mean, the thing is, again, I'm looking more forward to 318 because when, of course, we get the reset, sure, it'll be the last reset for a while, and better still, it'll be more cargo-focused and more logistical-focused, which is what I'm more interested in, I'll be honest. Oh, this thing. I have not seen this in so fucking long. This is awesome. So, for anyone who doesn't know, the Democo is a LMG variant of the Gallant. And originally, the Gallant and the Democo didn't really share too much of a difference because the Gallant is a fully auto with a 5-round burst fire. But recently, they've patched the gun to the point where the Democo probably now has more of a viability to it. And if I'm not mistaken, there is also an option for a scope. Gamma times 3. Fucking hell. Right, Theta Pro. What does the... Can you not equip it on the top? No, it doesn't look like it. Right, so I will equip this on here. That's fucking cool. Right. And yeah, the Democo is basically a full auto LAS LMG. And it is extremely nice looking. I've not seen this weapon in such a long time. Honestly, this is well worth it. I would say the loss of my Cutlass Black is worth it. I mean, it's almost worth it. I mean, I'm not especially mindful now that I've got the fucking Democo. I mean, I'm still probably going to jump into another game, but at least I got a Democo. Nice. Slow rate of fire, but controllable. Nice, nice. Yeah, you want the Democo as an LMG. It's a solid piece of equipment with a I'd say 500 rounds per minute. Yeah, I'd say 500. 450 to 500 rounds per minute. But it has a 100-round magazine, which, you know, long-lasting. And it stings like a bitch when you hit someone with it. I'm seeing a bunch of P4 ARs. Right, I'm going to pick this up. Show you a little trick, because... Hey, what? Okay, so drop that one. That's shit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to... Right, there's a medical thing. Is there anything special about this medical? I bet I could take an oxy pen. Only is recommended. That's fine. Is it the orange one? No. There's a purple one, I think, which allows you to... there's a particular type of Medipen which reduces the toxicity in your blood. Once you have that, the toxicity does decrease quite dramatically. So it's best utilized if you're in a position where you're constantly medicating on yourself. I believe you also gain some blood toxicity if you... There you go. If you... anything you need to know about over here? No. No. More no. With a bit of no on the top of that. Fuck yeah. Okay. So... Jump. Ah, there it is. But no, so... tractor beam attachment. Bum-a-da-bum-a-da-bum-a-da-bum. Nothing really here. Hmm? Oh, yeah. Bum-a-da-bum-a-da-bum-a-da-bum-a-da-bum-a-da-bum. Bum-a-da-bum-a-da-bum-a-da-bum. I think we cleared it out. But no, that was a really good find. Demeco, Demicos are quite rare. So to find a Demeco and a couple of mags alongside it is quite an opportunity. When 318 drops, it is going to be quite the lucky find. Especially if you can try and find more of them. The thing is, if you find the gun, the magazine is pretty much sold everywhere. So if you find the gun, oh, you're in the rich. Like, you are not going to be wanting... obviously, if you can find more of them, it would be brilliant. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world. But no, that is actually quite awesome. Oh, I haven't looted this one. No, we did loot this one. I was about to say, like, I'm fairly certain we looted this one, but okay, we'll just assume. Oh, there's another one right in front of me. Right, let's pick up this one. What's the magazine capacity? Ooh, it's a nice old 30. Here's a little nice trick. Grab the magazine from the gun when you picked it up, and you can pilfer the magazine, and you can then drop it. Be a full goblin. I will say, I am a little bit of a goblin whore. Ooh. Redshift. Nice. Not that, but I will take that. Venture helmet black. Okay, we will take the Venture helmet. Yeah, we'll take the Venture suit as well. Why not? C-54 with the BR2 shotgun. I will take this... again, I will take the P4 ammo. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. And hello. Suddenly all the boxes are showing up today. That's fuck off, P4. Right, you, Demeco. Oh no. No, 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 no. Don't you do this to me. Don't make me decide between a fucking Demeco and the goddamn Night Stalker. You bastard. I hate you. I genuinely fucking hate you. Why? Why would you do such a dickish thing, game? Fucker. Demeco? Oh, you motherfucker. God, if only I had my fucking ship available, I wouldn't have to make this decision. Oh, goddamn. That is very frustrating. Oh, well. Question. Can you... If you... Okay, I don't think for a split second it's going to work. However, if we decide to hold it in our hands, like, okay, it's really a case of like, okay, so if I were to equip this, crazy dancer, I don't know you, sir. Sorry. Right. So, I mean, to be honest with you, it's not the end of the world because obviously, if I don't, you know, again, it's 3.18 is going to be the patch that wipes a lot of this stuff. But if I can get this, that would be fantastic. Right, okay, come on. Come on. Right, okay. It may not matter. Oh, that's good news. I honestly was worried I wouldn't be able to keep both weapons. That's really awesome. Okay, I've definitely got a good haul. Seriously got a good haul. Don't think we have enough room for the venture halls, no. No, 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 no. No, that's understandable. Right, grab the weapon. I may not need you, but you're still gonna need to still need the magazine, mate. I may need your I need your ammo. Right, can you not let me load the weapon, please? No, it won't let me. I think the weapon's glitched out. Which is a shame, because I really wanted the magazine. I'm just leaving this. I'm like, nope, fuck this. Right, so now we can go back to the menu. And while, yes, we've lost the ship, and to be fair, I'm still tempted. And to be fair, I'm also not too sure what I need to probably come up with a backup game in case something goes wrong. I mean, Factorio, but the thing is, Factorio takes fucking ages to start. Right, so, there is that. Okay, so let's get back into the persistent universe. This time, we're probably going to have to go with the Redeemer. And I'm probably going to have to try to find a place to park that isn't, you know, like, I may have to park quite a distance away. It sucks. Believe you me, it sucks. But for what we want to do, I think that's the best thing we can do. More to the point, I think I'm also going to move all the way. I'm going to move back up to Microtech because that's my personal preference when it comes to places to explore, shall we say. So we're gonna quickly go over to, we're gonna load back into the verse, probably try and grab some, get like the Redeemer, fly back up to Microtech and try and loot some of the moons around there, because that way then we can like guarantee some kind of benefit and profit, and I can prop all the shit that I can loot into that. You better not have taken away my fucking... Motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. Honestly. I am disappointed. There was a time where a Demeco wasn't considered a heavy weapon. You could have a Demeco and a railgun, but apparently... Honestly. Right, so... Can I at least... Is the equipment... Yeah, so we can... I haven't been able to gain the railgun, but I did get the Demeco. So, 6 of 1, apparently. Anyway, let's quickly get the Redeemer. Well, let's call the Redeemer in and get ourselves sorted. We're going to probably try and get ourselves to...
The ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
Right, Redeemer. So it is at New Babbage, which is not surprising. I've got a lot of fucking work cut out for me for when 318 drops. Because, like, I'm going to have to probably move all of my shit to... from Microtech to... yeah, I'm probably gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna be operating around New Babbage. I like Microtech. Microtech just feels natural to me. So I'm probably gonna have to end up moving all of my shit from New Babbage up to Port Tressler, which on the one hand is like kind of okay. On the other hand is like bleh. I'm not overly keen on that particular thing.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle
But
retrieval
at the
system.
same time, it is probably what we need to do. I did ask for the Redeemer to be claimed.
Your insurance claim has been sent. Please visit us
What-
again.
What have I
Welcome
claimed in case
to the
instead
ASOC
of the...
vehicle retrieval system.
Oh, of course. Okay. Sure thing. No. That's just... It should be destroyed by bullshit. But let's not get into that. Like 318, I'm not gonna lie. Like this particular patch just feels like a filler to me at the moment, because like obviously the ground combat is good and all, but the issue right now is I can't really do anything about it. Like I can't really fully enjoy doing the ground combat because, well, my computer isn't really capable of playing this game at the ground combat level. I mean, the previous stream is a testament to that fact. I mean, I did it. But I wouldn't exactly say my computer is really Star Citizen capable. Even with without even streaming, I can't play various bits, which, you know, is a real big downturn for me. It's one of the reasons why I don't spend as much time with this game as I previously, you know, as I'd like to, because there are just points where my computer just won't do it properly. Like, I don't see any problems at all with the game itself. The game, there are points where, obviously there are points when, for example, like what we have now, but the amount of times I've had it that my computer just can't handle it, oh, it's so irritating, which is why I just don't play this game sometimes. Oh, I take an extended break from this game, because there are just points where I just get so fed up with having to watch my computer just cry at the fact that I want to go out of a fucking I want to go from planet side to ground. It just, no. The RAM and the CPU just don't want to do it, so that's why we don't do it. But it is irritating beyond belief, to say the least. So, obviously, I'm looking forward to when I do upgrade my rig, which is hopefully very soon. At the time of this recording, or the time of this stream, I'm hoping to be able to start looking seriously into upgrading my rig. Mainly in the form of upgrade. To be fair, the price of it, I can afford it now. Easily can afford it now. Like, but at the same time, it's one of those things that I'm like, I really don't want a chance putting myself in an economically poor decision, considering the current world economics right now is not looking too favorable. And maybe, as a result, things might get cheaper because they're trying to sell them for a lower price, which might actually help me out. But still, it's definitely not looking too pleasant. But on a positive turn, I do at least have the full plan. Like, I have the plan. It is ready to go. I just need, you know, the necessary... I've got everything ready to go. I know what I need to get. I know I can plan around it. I just need to be able to then, you know, request the time off from work so I can basically glorify my upgraded rig.
Please visit us again.
And hopefully that would be... yeah, that would hopefully be a functioning capacity. But anyway, enough rambling on about that. So I'm going to have to think about a backup game. I'm going to have to get my Steam on. I'm trying to think what I could play on Steam that could be a good backup game in case Star Citizen decides to go pot. I can't think of anything, to be fair, at this moment. So we're going to make more of a go of it once the Redeemer gets set up. I'm basically going to transfer all of my shit to the Redeemer. Transfer all that stuff to Port Tresla. And then we're going to be able to... Courier, that makes more sense. Fighter, medium fighter, bomber. Yeah, I would say so. Hover quad, makes sense. Freight, yeah, like freight, bomber. Yeah, I would list it as a heavy bomber, but yeah. Actually, no, to be fair, bomber is a nice description for it, but yeah. Light fighter. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I do like this better form. Medium fighter, medium freight. I would put it more under the medium freight than medium fighter. I mean, sure, you can equip a Cutlass Black with some pretty decent weapons, but a fighter? I would say more transport than fighter, but then again, there are a fair few pirates who do utilize the Cutlass Black quite effectively in combat, so who knows. I mean, my particular... 2 minutes, yeah, 2 minutes to me, okay. To be fair, you do get those guys in... right, let me just see. Can I put my helmet in, like, my core? Can I do that? Can I put that in here? Right, there we go. Just so I can eat my food and do my thing and not get into shit. Yes. There we go. Right. Grab a can of drink. Come on. You know what? Let's take the Pips Q66, the purple edition, because I've always had the other edition, but this one, really. Okay, that has actually worked. Good. Good. I was a bit like, really? Really? You're doing this? Right, okay. That should be...
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Yeah, there we go, 1 minute. Perfect.
Please visit us again.
Oh,
Bye.
I have the drink. My character looks so bloody mellow. It's like... He looks so happy. Right. Can't place this down, can I? Guessing I can't. Oh, okay. I can toss it down. Good. And it disappears. Lovely. Right.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Right. 21 seconds, and we can get going. So yeah, what we'll do is I will quickly go down to the spaceship, drop off all the stuff into my Redeemer, and then we'll fly over to Port Tressler, drop all the stuff off at Port Tressler, with the exception of the essentials, and then we're going to go do a bit of exploring before wrapping it up. Depending on how things go, I may do a little bit more, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going for a hugely long stream today, but we will see.
Welcome
We will see.
to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following
Right.
location.
Helpful. There we go. Think Star Citizen is due for a fresh reinstall. Ugh. Do. I think what I'll do is once I get my rig upgraded, I might do a completely fresh reinstall. Like delete everything about Star Citizen on delete everything on Star Citizen in a particular drive. So it's a completely fresh, absolutely out of the box reinstall for Star Citizen, and then see if that does anything towards improving performance alongside the better quality stuff, because that might do it. I'm not saying that does a lot. You look new. I don't think I've seen you before. If I have, then I apologize in advance, but you look very different. Can I push you? Emergency stop. This looks like a thing you can do in the future. Is it like a fuel line? UTC. Flammable liquid. Yeah, that's Quantanium. Or hydrogen. Or both. Emergency. So this is the thing that they'd fill your ships up with. Nah, microtech. Yeah, so this looks like some kind of the thing that you'd roll up to the side of one of these ships and be like, yep. Oh, look at that. Future stacking and all that crap. Like, this definitely, like, this is one of the personalized hangars you can get, and this does kind of feel like one of the things, well, personalized hangars. Ooh. This does kind of feel like one of the hangars that you may potentially get in future releases. Because they did say that in future releases of Star Citizen, a personalized hangar, you know, as in like one that the player can just own straight up, is going to be a thing. So I'm fairly certain in the future we probably will have that. Right. So let's head to the vehicles. Yeah, 2000K. So there's not a huge amount of space, but to be fair, at the same time, we're also not transporting a huge amount either. Democo's definitely going in there, though. We've got a fair amount to scav. I look forward to being able to put the shit into boxes and then transporting it via that method. And who knows, maybe with 318 we're going to have that. Like, the ability to transport stuff will be not so much transported via... Right. And then local. There we go. But, yeah, the way that this works... Yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm probably sounding like I'm shitting on Star Citizen every 5 seconds now, but it's like, there are things about this game I do absolutely love. I'm a huge fan of Star Citizen. You know, I've played this and I've loved this game since its release. God, funny words. Yes, can't speak. I've loved this game since I first heard about it in 2012. Whenever I've been able to, I've been attempting to play this game. And I am a big fan of it. I do want it to succeed. I want it to do all the things that it needs to do to be the best space game out there. And it is, in my opinion, my favorite ever space game. Like, there are lots of things about this game that just you can't get anywhere else. But that doesn't mean it's the best game in the universe. Not yet, at least. And there are days where it is just absolutely piss-takingly annoying to be able to play. And as mentioned before, the big problem I'm having with my particular experience is that in my particular case, my computer is not quite good enough to play it properly. So I'm struggling to be able to enjoy this game at what it could possibly be, because obviously, you know, the computer rig, there are times where previously the rig couldn't really play things, and to be fair, when I'm playing stuff like doing the events and whatnot, it is limited by what I can do. You know, there is a genuine disadvantage I have here. You know, if I want to do anything impressive, then obviously, let's quickly set to a Microtech and then Port Tressler. So I've got the double whammo that because I have less RAM.
Thank you, and please visit again.
There you go. I've got the double whammo that because I have because I have the game on not the best optimal settings, and you know it struggles to perform, I'm more likely to suffer from glitches and issues because obviously the game is not really optimized for my rig. So I'm hoping that once I can actually have a decent quality rig that allows me to play Star Citizen as it's intending to be, my experience of Star Citizen will not only improve, but also I'll be able to enjoy the game more because I won't be in an environment where, for example, if I'm playing, my game decides to go to like 1 frame a second. It's improved a crap ton since my previous, since in the last few years, and you know, the frames, the being able to land on the ground, the combat, it's vastly improved. But as a result of my rig not being perfect, it can be problematic, to say the least. Anyway, more important things. Yeah, so what I'm planning on doing once Start 318 drops is I'm definitely going to be hopping on to do some more mining ventures. So the streams for Star Citizen may not be as action-packed as perhaps one had thought, but I do be planning on playing more peaceful style gameplay. Yeah, Rust might be a thing. Maybe. Again, we'll have to see when I can upgrade my rig. I think once I've upgraded my rig, things will be... I can see clearly now that my rig is good. I can see that I can play my own games. I can play more with frames and less with shit. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. My favourite version of that song actually is from the film Ants. If anyone ever seen that film Ants, 1998, released around the same time, and I fear it may have lost in terms of media coverage to the Pixar version film called Bugs. And it was a bit of a, it was actually kind of a, a bit of a controversial film. It was a bit of a controversial time because both Pixar and Bugs had protagonists as ants. Very different films, but both having a core subject of ants versus big world sort of thing. And I'll be fair, both films in their own rights are really good, but I think Ants slightly, if I had to look at it, if I had to be brutal, Ants kind of beats Bugs just slightly, because the subject matter and the story and the environment and to be fair, the animations. Like, I'm saying this with like nostalgia in mind rather than recent memory, but if nostalgia kind of, maybe nostalgia is not the right word, but if long-term memory reminds me, I don't think I saw a totally like obvious signs of bad animation or anything like that, or obvious signs of early animation, whereas with Pixar films there's a distinctive like because it was like the film Bugs Life was a film that came not too long after the first Toy Story, so this was like back when Pixar was very early, before I would say The Incredibles. Every film prior to The Incredibles had a technological issue per se. You could definitely tell the earlier texture frames, the lighting, everything didn't feel as natural as it does in The Incredibles. I think The Incredibles was the film that really started to take the direction seriously when it came to in terms of like looking awesome. Though to be fair, when did Finding Nemo come out? Did it come after The Incredibles or before? It's been so long. Right, let's Google whilst we're waiting. Right, Google, come on. Finding Nemo. Okay, 2003. So Finding Nemo. So Finding Nemo came out before. Oh, okay. I mean, to be fair, Finding Nemo was all right, but I didn't really notice any. I mean, I guess because Finding Nemo was under the ocean all the time, it wasn't as. Sorry, it's just looking back at Finding Nemo. It's like it's a lovely film, but fuck me if it doesn't remind me of doesn't give me nightmare fuel time, because thalassophobia, it's a bitch of the world. But no, I mean, I find the visual style of Finding Nemo was pretty good. I gotta find out. I'm gonna get a list of all the Pixar films now, because like they did a whole bunch of stuff. Pixar list. Right, what films came out in which particular order? And of course, they don't talk about it in order. There we go. Films in order of release. There we go. Right. Just Pixar. It's something that should be simple to type in. Pixar films in order of release. Okay. Right, there we go. Oh, wiki. There you go. That's even better. Right. Toy Story, Bugs Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc. Yeah. So, yeah. I would definitely say... Yeah. So... I would say in my particular experience, Monsters Inc. was a pretty good film, without a doubt, and has some pretty awesome. There we go. Oh boy! Left. Up. Down. Right. Yeah. No. So it was Finding Nemo, then The Incredibles. Yeah. I mean. I can't really say. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, from my personal experience, I started to notice a real improvement to the visuals towards Pixar films when The Incredibles came out. After The Incredibles, that's when that was when Pixar films really started getting their own particular visuals. Finding Nemo was kind of like the mid-realm, if you will, because obviously there was some impressive set works and there was some really good, there was some pretty impressive environments and whatnot. But because it was mostly based down in the ocean, I couldn't really feel the sense of, I don't know, environmental impact as perhaps in The Incredibles. But with The Incredibles, you had like the weight of the jungles, you had the setting of the cars in the cities, you had the suburban environments, the lighting there. I just feel it was that's when they really started getting their own particular flair. And then post that, you've got Cars, which is good film. Like everyone says, the Cars series was really shit. Cars 1 was good. Cars 2 was alright. Cars 3 we don't talk about. No, Cars 3 is alright. It's not a bad film. I wouldn't say it's the best film, not by a long shot, but it is a good film. It's an alright film. It's a film, I think, to wrap up the Cars series, that film was alright. I think I think when Cars 3 came out, it was just on the cusp of the wokeification of the media. So
please proceed to assigned landing bay.
It's not as you could feel them starting to tug at the whole shit, but in actual fact, it's not egregious. It's not outright, in your face, completely. Landing pads, intriguing. Oh, that's where it is. Yeah, it's not quite egregious, or as egregious as future films would end up being. What else? Fuck. I'll have to repair that. Whoops. Right, let's see. Yeah, after that, The Incredibles 2, I was saying, what? Yeah, good films. I'm just scrolling through Wikipedia now on, like, all the films. Landing gear. Yes, I'm aware, proximity collision alert. You don't have to remind me. Right.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
We'll try to. Oof. Yeah, that cost me a bit. So yeah, Toy Story, Bugs Life, Toy Story 2. Yeah, those games are amazing. Those films are amazing. Monsters, Inc. was good. Again, visual style needed to be found. Then Finding Nemo was... yeah, it was alright. I can't really say... personally speaking, I would say... Finding Nemo was a really good film, but I won't say it was the most amazing. Ratatouille. Oh, that was a good film. I watched that when it first came out. And where was... I remember because the fucking cinema that was... The cinema that we were in, they fucked up the seating order so badly that they ended up, I can't remember, I can't remember exactly. I think it was either they fucked up the seating order or there was some kind of thing that resulted in us, like the film getting in. No, the film was interrupted or something like that. We got like a fire drill. That was it. Yeah, Fuck, that was a long time ago, but yeah, some kids basically triggered the fire alarm, which resulted in us getting evacuated out of the room. And then, of course, when they kicked the kids out, we came back in and they gave us free tickets for the thing because obviously we had to leave the cinema midway through the film. Christ, that took me. I surprisingly remember that well. You can't remember what the hell I did last week, but I remember what happened like 20 fucking years ago. Good job. Oh god, it was almost 20 years ago now. I'm gonna be 30 in like less than a month. Fucking hell, 30. 30 years on this planet. It's scary. I'm genuinely scared sometimes. Fuck, 30 years old. I have leveled up to level 30. It's not right. It feels wrong. Just... yeah. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Christ. Anyway, so on to more important things. God, oh my God, WALL-E. If I had to say my favorite Pixar film, WALL-E would be up there. Was it my absolute, I don't know, favorite Pixar film? You know, WALL-E is probably one of those ones I would say that I would rate as my number one. I'm going to go there. You know, Toy Story 3 was really good, don't get me wrong. It was an emotional farewell that made me well up and die and cry. And Up can go fuck itself because it literally kills any happiness that you have in life. It's really quite egregious, to be fair. Like, if you ever want to just like watch a film with like, if you want to just drain someone's happiness in like 10 minutes flat, tell them to watch Up. Just be like, hey, do you want to watch the film Up? And like everyone's saying, yes, I feel like a happy-go-lucky squirt of a person who has everything to look forward to and there's nothing wrong with the world. And then after watching Up, they're like, there is only pain, suffering, and demise. What is the point of existing? Why would you want me to exist on this plane, you bastard? And everyone else will be like, yeah. Welcome to the club. Oh, fucking Up was such a... The thing is, Up was a really good film on its own particular platform. But it fucking... Like, I remember when we went to the cinema, like my mum, my sister, and I, we went to see it in the films, and, like... It was this... We had a bit of a... We had a bit of a really emotional, really emotional segment. There was two particular bits I remember about that time, which was hilarious, looking back on it. The first was, of course, the fucking intro sequence, because we were expecting it to be like a happy Pixar film, and like within 10 minutes, of course, the whole introduction sequence happened, and we were all like going, like all fucking crying and shit. And then what was it? We have like the freaking okay, there we go. You know, then and then near the end of the film, yeah, like near the end of the film, just as like the credits were, like just as the last shot of the film wraps up to sort of show, I won't spoil it. Fuck it, the film's been out for a long time. When like the old guy and when the protagonist and the child are like sharing an ice cream, taking all the cars, and you see like the Zeppelin in the background, and it was this lovely little moment, and then we just hear like that. We're like, what the fuck was that? That's a really strange sound effect. And then as we're coming upstairs, as we're like walking out of the theater, to be fair, at the time it was a really quiet theater. It was just myself, my mum, and my sister, and I think there was this one woman and a child. And it turned out the child had been sick. The kid had obviously eaten too many sweets and basically puked his guts up on the fucking chair in front of him. And it was only like after we were watching the credits and we were walking out of the cinema, there was this mother like desperately apologizing to this like soul-crushed cinema worker. Oh god. As he sort of gets the plastic bag out with like getting the little particular like trying to find a plastic glove and like, you know, clearing up the fucking vomit up. It was hilarious. I loved it. It was so... God almighty, I felt so sorry for that guy. I'll be honest with you. I tell you what, cinema, if you work at the cinema, and cinema, Christ, that probably sounds like an old term. If you work at, like, yeah, if you work at the cinema, like, if you have to, I fucking hats off to you guys, seriously. Like, the amount of energy and enthusiasm you've got to try and put into that job, because it's like it's low paid. You're not getting like, to be fair, nowadays it's probably even less paid because of the pandemic. But like, fucking God bless you guys, because back then it was the only real sort of way to see a new film. You know, there wasn't streaming services or anything like that, so you didn't have a choice. You had to watch in the cinema. But even though it was the only choice and you had to watch in the cinema, it was still a shit job. because it was entry level work. Just make sure I got my headphones. Yep. I gotta remember what this helmet is in case. Morningstar helmet base. So it's just a bog standard Morningstar. Good to know. Anyway,
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
but yeah, like bless
Vehicle
them.
selected.
You know,
Stand by.
you don't really get paid a huge amount of money to begin with,
Your
so you
vehicle
have
has
to
been
deal with
delivered
like
to
the
the
most
following
shitty
location.
of abusive customers. You have to and like you can't tell them to leave the place anymore because obviously to be fair, I don't know if that's going to come back because obviously as less customers come in, you want to like prioritize the quality experience rather than fuck around with that. But yeah, like the quality of experience that you would have at a cinema, and you have to like work there, and you have to deal with so many things. Maybe the perks is you get to watch a film. You get to like sit in the projector stand and maybe watch a film, or you have to like clean up shit. But you may get a chance to like work in those places. There must be some benefits to working in that area. But again, it's an entry level job, so you're not going to get a huge amount of money for it. Obviously, they'll probably expect you to work on special occasions. There's probably not much opportunity for overtime. Or there's not, it's a shitty job. It's an entry-level job which probably has 0-hour contracts and all that jazz. So God bless them. Seriously, they are the fucking chance of the verse when it comes to dealing with stuff like that, because you don't want to be in that kind of job for long. To be fair, I mean, having worked in retail for so long, in that environment, you deal with some of the most despicable kind of people, like absolutely despicable, and it honestly just feels so. I'm over the moon and still I'm over the moon happy that I can actually say that I'm out of the business now for that. But yeah, God bless those guys. Anyway, going back to the point, back to the original point. Yeah, so this poor guy just probably didn't want to. He just didn't want to be in that point because that fucking kid went. That kid blew chunks. The seat and the area around him, like the seat in front of him and the area surrounding it, was covered in puke. Like this poor guy was just like, nah.
Thank you.
I'm sure he probably was like, I'm done for the day, sort of thing. God. Oh man. I think. Yeah, to be fair, I would say my favorite film has to be WALL-E. It's got everything neatly wrapped up with like a nice bit of writing on the top. Like you've got the main character, obviously WALL-E. There's very little dialogue. Yeah, like the humans in the film, despite being partly the more important characters, theoretically speaking, or at least the sort of the main. They're actually more of a secondary character. Like the point of like Eva is to try and like make sure that Earth is habitable again. So right, let's see. Let's go to a Cantwell research outpost. Sure thing. Maybe I might get some good loot from there. So like yeah, like the humans are very. The humans are almost a side note, to be fair, and it's like such a nice film because you've got some really good music to it, you've got some good environments to it. It's in space, which is a bit of a big plus for me. So yeah, no, that was a really good film, really awesome film. Toy Story 3, emotional, so emotional, like holy shit. It's basically. Toy Story 3 is what I would say is the actual final film of the Toy Story series. I do not like Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 feels like... Yeah, no. Toy Story 4 is just not a good film in my opinion. There are characters that don't make any sense. They deviate a bit from like there doesn't seem to be there are too many decisions that both Woody and Buzz almost feels like an ancillary character, like they don't really give a shit about him. And unfortunately, I feel this is more to do with the wokeification of the media at this point, because obviously we're in 2019, we're slap bang in the middle of fucking we're slap bang in the middle of like the worst part of the wokeification stream. They're not as Pixar wasn't as blatantly fucking obvious as other producers in Disney films that would later come out, but we're at the point where we're past The Last Jedi and going towards actually, to be fair, I think I can't remember, did that film come out before or after the shittening of the third Star Wars film, of the new Star Wars film? Also, Jesus Christ, how fucking high am I off the ground right now? Oh, I was barely off the ground. That's really not reassuring. Like, I was like, I've got that lovely little glitch where I can't actually tell how high I am off the ground, because, you know, yeah, the altimeter is basically...
Landing gear deployed.
So I was barely off the ground. GG. On a planet that is on the night cycle, a piece of shit. So I'm quite surprised my streaming capacity is improved. Looks like we're in the middle of a storm as well. Alright.
Engines offline.
But yeah, no, the film definitely oozed of... Yeah, Toy Story 4 kind of just felt like a mishmash. There wasn't really any one clear direction. It kind of just felt like the same kind of repeated storyline where, you know, Woody gets separated from main character and other just... And, you know, has to go on an adventure and, like, discover something special. And, like, the bad guy on it and everything. It felt like a lot of things that we'd seen before in Toy Story 3. But instead of it being good writing, like Toy Story 3, where you had characters who you genuinely, despite being the bad guy, you genuinely felt sorry for. And while they do get their comeuppance, it's still, like, you still kind of feel... a prang of sympathy for them, because naturally, you know, they're not totally bad. They just had a bad experience, and they've had their minds. They've been, you know, they've been put into a shitty experience by one uncaring person, and so now they've been put. So now their worldview is different as a result. But this one is just the case of, like, basically Jessie from Toy Story 2, but less evil, but more evil. And it's like, a lot of the other characters just weren't there. And it didn't really feel like a full-on Toy Story film. It just felt like it just felt like a bleh, you know? Just bleh. And it just didn't feel right, you know? Oh, hello. Oh, Noviakov helmet. I'll take that. That'll probably be what I am looking for, unless there's an additional bit of loot around here. Oh, so there is. So there is. What we got? We have got a lot of shit that we don't need. No, it's all good. Don't need that. Interesting. Fair enough. But yeah, so let's have a look. See what can we buy from here? Titanium, agricium. Okay. That's something we didn't know. That's actually pretty cool. We can buy agricium from here. That'd be kind of cool. I wonder if that was a player who did that. See, that would be dope. You could have if in Star Citizen there are places where you can actually, from players who did shit. Whee! Yeah, so going back to the Toy Story 4, by the end of the film, I just felt disappointed. Like, it just felt like nothing really of note had been decided properly, and it was just there because, well, you know, they needed to find an ending to a film, and it just felt like, why would you do that? You know? Like, I mean, going into spoilers territory, obviously. The big thing, of course, is, you know, is basically Woody is no longer king. And, you know, he has to accept that. You know, at the beginning of the film, he's struggling to sort of ensure his dominance or whatever, or he's like trying to sort of organize things like he used to, and now he has to adjust to not being, to not having that. But then, but rather than like, for example, like not too much good loot around here, sadly. Well, we've got the pyro multi-tools, so I'll take a couple of those. Apart from that, there's not really anything else of note or value from here. I mean, to be fair, they don't. Sometimes they do provide some good loot. Sometimes they don't. This area probably you wouldn't expect to find a railgun, for example. Yeah, I will be fair. I haven't seen the film for quite some time, but the first time I saw it, I was more than convinced I don't want to see it again. It didn't feel like a Toy Story film that I personally would happily enjoy to watch again, because it just felt so wrong. It didn't feel like a good Toy Story film. And again, they kind of hyped up on the whole, like, this girl's strong and independent, the wokeification of Toy Story. I said we're in prime time shitty Hollywood films land, so naturally, of course, that's when you can tell that the quality of the writing and the quality of the characters and the quality of anything really just goes downhill. So it's one of those. Oh, nice MRE. It's just one of those sort of sad factors, really. Let's see what's else on this list. Cars 2 wasn't as bad as I thought, though I have to admit, I didn't like it at first, but then I grew to like it. It was one of those films that I honestly thought, oh, for fuck's sake, they've done the spy thing for everything. Like, there was a genuine, like, trend amongst loads of films for some reason, that it's like, in order to be a successful sequel, it must be about spies. And I'm like, you don't need it to be about spies. Not every goddamn film that's a sequel needs to be about spies. But in fairness to Cars 2, they did do a good job. They actually did a reasonably decent job at conveying the thing. It was... Again, I wouldn't say it's a film I like a lot, but it was a good enough film that I actually grew to enjoy it more as time went by. I think that's the safest sort of bet you can say with that particular factor. See if there's any other locations we have. Scrolling down. Brave, I quite enjoyed. Billy Connolly was fucking amazing in that film. He was awesome. The story felt fairly generic. Like it's just a coming of age story where a young lassie learns to love and understand their mother, and understand that while they may not they want to be treated like a young adult, it's also about earning respect and understanding that your power comes with responsibility and all that other bollocks. That kind of shit. But again, it wasn't a bad film. I loved Billy Connolly in it, and there was some good jokes in that. So, overall, good film. Really enjoyed it. And, yeah, it was quite a nice thing. Not seen Monsters University Inside Out: The Good Dinosaur. Did see Finding Dory, and oh boy, it tugs the heartstrings a bit. Like Finding Dory, ooh, that was a good film. What are you? Ready Up Helmet Pathfinder. What? Hang on, I gotta try this. What the fuck is that helmet? What is that? I guess I can't equip it. I guess I can't equip it. What is even that? It looks like the plastic bag thing. Okay, well I'm nabbing that because it's rare, but I don't think I need to... But yeah, whatever that is, we got it. Huzzay? Maybe. Nice. Ooh, one day soon. But yeah, never saw The Good Dinosaur. That was one of the that was the first like Pixar film that didn't actually do really good, which again, not entirely surprising. Never saw Coco. I did see Cars 3, and again, going back to it briefly, it was a really nice experience film. Like it was it wasn't an amazing film. The story kind of felt fairly generic, and again, it was when wokeification was creeping in, sadly. So yeah, it was like, you don't belong here, woman. He's like, yes, I do, and it's like, oh, for God's sake, okay. It wasn't as egregious, let's put it that way, as some of the more recent films that have come out. Then, I'd say, I haven't seen Coco. I have not seen Coco, but of the bits I have seen, it doesn't look too bad. The story, the characters, they look pretty decent. There's a little bit of a laugh here and there. Very intriguing culture they have in Mexico when it comes to celebrating the dead. Definitely a unique spin on the thing. I have no idea what these bring up. Oh wow. So you can't probably breathe this in vacuum, but you can breathe it in a toxic atmosphere. Love it. If this is what they're equipping their guys in this research station, I think people need to find a better job. Let's see. Anything of note? Yep. I will take the beanie. I will take the beanie. My beanie. Let's see. Nope. No offense, but that does not provoke me happy. No, that does not provoke me happy thought vibes. That would drive me fucking mental. I mean, to be fair, being honest, being on this particular plateau would also drive me mental. But that's just because I would be terrified of beyond belief. Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 was alright. I think they had good writers for this one. I think because I think it was such a long-awaited film, The Incredibles 2. I've only seen it. To be fair, I've only seen it once. I didn't have an incredibly high desire to go back, but there was some pretty good story writing in that one, because you had, of course, Mr. Incredible having his particular midlife crisis, as it were, because he's basically, an older man struggling to adjust to being a house husband, whilst the wife went out to do all the sort of the big bravado work and whatnot. But it also was it was a nice little touch, because he was basically trying to adjust to being a father figure to his children. And it was in a good way as well. I mean, near the end it kind of derailed a bit, because it was just like, then it kind of went to generico, let's make the superhumans look like a bad guy lot. But it wasn't a bad film in that regard. I don't think it was like atrocious in that particular department. Right, there was that place explored and cleared out. Where to next? Let's get ourselves off the thing. And I said, Toy Story 4 was just no. It was. I was quite disappointed when I saw Toy Story for the first time. Well, the only time I saw it. So make of that what you will. Not seen Soul. Not seen Luca. Not seen Turning Red. Even though I'm fairly certain there's a certain community of people out there who fucking love that kind of film, if you know what I mean. And not seen Lightyear. I was wanting to see Lightyear, but then when Tim Allen wasn't. To be fair, I wasn't as upset as everyone else was that Tim Allen wasn't playing Buzz Lightyear. I think it wasn't the best idea to not cast Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear, but I'm not. I wouldn't have dictated my entire I wouldn't have been refusing to see the film outright because of the lack of Tim Allen. I think I don't think it's an intelligent moveset, especially since the person who they hired was an incredibly big wokeist himself, who decided he decided to go the way that most leftists decide to in Hollywood. Interact with their fans, which is to berate them and insult them and treat them like garbage, and then also completely surprised when they're treated like garbage themselves. It's weird when their films don't succeed. And I am quite sad about. I am genuinely quite sad about the affix, because the film. Lightyear could have been a really good fucking film, But not only did they decide to overly politicize the film by having two female characters share a kiss sequence, which I think backfired spectacularly, by the way. I'm sorry, you cannot prove... Like, sure, we're living in a progressive time, but at the same time, it's like, you're not going to get any fucking where when... Like, you're not going to make any intelligent decisions when you're like... You know, when your main incentive is like, we're going to have a same-sex kiss scene and you're going to like it. And it's like, you know, at first everyone's like, for fuck's sake, stop pushing this shit on people, Disney. We don't want it. I mean, to be fair, the circumstances surrounding this particular event probably influenced a few things, I'll be fair. I mean, what, previously the sequence was cut out. Like, at first. And I'm fairly certain it still is cut out in the Middle East. And I think maybe even in China or the Asian areas. I don't know. I don't know if... and I say Asian areas quite loosely. Basically anywhere in the Asian bloc. There's not just specifically China, but I don't know if Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, that kind of thing. I don't know if they're like super hot on same-sex couples or anything else. I think they're probably in the realms of like America in the 90s and early 2000s, where it's like they'll have it for porn reasons, but not because they actually support those particular things. And like, what was it? Yeah, so like it was originally cut out, and then they put it back in because of the Parental Rights of Education Act. Or the famous Don't Say Gay bill that actually has nothing to do with gays. Morons. And basically, they decided to put that in not because of a legitimate, you know, film reason, just because politics reason. And then, of course, you've got the whole shebang of reports coming out. And I'll say that I've not seen the film. As I said, I've not seen the film, so I can't make a critical judgment. I can only report on what I've heard. But from what I've heard, the film tends to go in the same book, seems to go the same way as many other films of its kind, where basically the main character is made to look like a dunce, or does very stupid things, and lo and behold, a miraculous decision is made where a particular character who happens to be a female somehow shows him up, shows the main character up, and, you know, that's all it needs, that's all it takes. That's malarkey. So, while I'm not against female characters, you know, doing cool shit and being impressive, I do object to films glorifying them like they do in the MCU by basically making them somehow incapable of failure, and that every single man, you know, in the film is either a complete moron, a sexist asshole, or, you know, the both, or just genuinely not really a character that interacts very well with the whole storyline sort of thing. But of course, and you know, the other thing, which is of course, despite, you know, and let's not forget, of course, in these particular Marvel and, you know, more modern shitty films from the mainstream Hollywood, this is of course, you know, completely different when a woman does these particular things. You know, when a female character decides to act like an asshole, it's okay for her to do it because, of course, you know, she's strong, she doesn't need a man, she's independent, blah 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 blah. But you know, if you're wanting to have a man do something douchebaggy, well, of course you can't do that because, you know, it's a bit of a dangerous terrain, that kind of thing. Now, like, I think the Pixar films have definitely started out amazing, and now they've kind of turned into something less so. Like, Pixar can and has made some absolutely fantastic films, but I feel that because they're part of the Disney, their current mindset and politics are all part of that Disney demagogue sort of style of, you know, only, you know, of trying to get as many woke ideas as possible. You can't really, a bit like the classic Disney films of the previous time, you know, good writing, good characters, believable characters that you can get behind, stories that you can feel connection with. You don't get that anymore. You just don't. There's not even a question about whether or not you can. It's literally, food. Apparently processed food, which is not a bad price. And apparently Vice. Ooh dear. Yeah, if I wanted to trade, that would be funny. But no, like, the quality writing that we used to expect from these films has just disappeared. And it's just been replaced with just this diatribe of fangirling and, like, incredibly cringe-worthy... Ooh, nice. That's a rare scope. It's like you get good quality writing that previously used to define generations. Like, Christ almighty, I still remember when films like... I'm trying to think of a good Disney film that came out when I was alive. Or when I was young. I mean... God, well, when I'm trying to remember shit, my brain goes completely blank. Whilst I'm also playing this game and getting distracted. Nothing in this. No. No. No, don't look like it. Do it. No, okay. I'm trying to think. Good writing. Films that came out when I was younger. Or films that came before. I mean, to be fair, Mulan was a good fucking film for that. Like, it had the clichéic, like, story, but unlike like, it had the progression story of, like, a girl doing, things. But but the thing about Mulan, at least the 1998 film, was that it wasn't, the girl didn't, the point of Mulan was that she didn't win because she was somehow amazing at everything. It was because she did what she knew she was good at. She utilized her intelligence and her cunning rather than just becoming a demagogue like these modern films would have you believe that women could be, female characters could be capable of doing. And, like nowadays, it's like if the female character in a film wasn't able to do something because they're not that good at it, oh fucking hell, the film would be labeled as sexist, it would be labeled all the phobe, blah 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 blah. But like Mulan, just as an example of a film that came out when I was younger, it just meant it was literally, the story was, you are you. You don't have to be someone else. You don't have to be this god, killing monster on the front lines. You can just be you. And he says the greatest of all is having you for a daughter. And like that was a pretty fucking good line from that film. You felt the connection between the characters, and it's hilarious because it's like when the general of the army finally realizes it's a girl, his supposed like, I'm a strong, independent, I'm a general, I'm a fighter. He's like, oh shit, fuck, hi, and it's not bad. It's not in a degrading or insulting way. It's just a guy who really likes this girl is like, well, shit, you see, and it's because he's flustered. He likes her. He doesn't want to fuck up. He doesn't want to look like an idiot in front of her. And it's like, that's the kind of little silly writing that, sure, then you have the downside, which is, of course, I say downside. You do have the sort of the jokes at the time sort of thing, where some of them are quite funny. For example, fucking Eddie Murphy at the end of the film, where it's like he's on the wall and there's like a couple of guys going, "Who are you?" And it's like, "Your worst nightmare." and like near the end of the film, when like she launches the rocket, she's like, "Get off the roof! Get off the roof! Get off the roof!" It's just witty good shit like that. It's like, again, it shows the character is human. It shows that the character actually isn't some kind of deity, and that she can make mistakes, that she can fuck up, she's not perfect. And I think that's the problem nowadays with most films, is that it's just people assuming that they're perfect and that they're not, and that they keep the writers keep thinking that they're perfect, and it's like, no, you're not. You're a human being. Fucking deal with it. God, that turned into a long rant. I apologize for the few people who'll be watching this. I don't know what's going on with this game. And I'm tempted to go back to fucking Twitch at this point, because we're not getting much success with this. So I might go back onto Twitch. Itchy. Clickety click. So, no, I have to admit, I miss the days. I miss the old days of like good film writing, because you felt like you could connect with your characters more. You could feel that there was a relatable story that allowed you to take messages from it. That's why I love the old Disney films, because each film had their own unique aspect to it. And I'll say this, fight me on this thing. Fucking Treasure Planet was probably the best version of the Treasure Island series ever fucking made. Such a good, underrated as bastard film. Seriously, like, that film was incredible. It has great characters, it has great story. They changed aspects of the story to make it about a father-son environment, and my god, do they do a good job of it. The story, the music, the sequence where fucking Jim, like, connects with, oh god, what's his name? Not Blackbeard. Why am I thinking Blackbeard? I don't know why my brain is thinking Blackbeard, but you know what? Blackbeard it is. We'll go with, Pirate John him. Oh god, what the fuck is his name? Long John, there we go. For some reason I couldn't remember the fucking name. Pardon me. Treasure Planet was such a good film. It was such a great family film. And it is a crime that the film is not being celebrated more, because seriously... Oh, that's cool. That film deserves so much praise. So much praise. Because, oh my god, that film was so good. I know I harken on about it, but seriously, that film was fucking butchered in the cinemas, and everyone says, oh, it was a terrible film, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you wankers don't know how good you had it. Hell, I didn't know how good I had it until now. And like years later when I saw the film, and I'm like, why is this film shit canned? Like, why was this film, like, treated as a shit film? Because it's not at all. It's actually quite a good film. And, like, there are some genuinely emotional bits of that film which you could easily cry to. But no, seriously, fucking fight me on that. I will die on that hill. Treasure Planet was possibly the best... It is the best edition of Treasure Island possible. I know at the moment there's the meme going on of Dr. Livesey, the Russian edition, which I'm not going to lie, he is the best version of Dr. Livesey. Seriously, he may be Ivan, but fucking hell, he is hilarious. Like, whoever decided, hey, you know what, we're going to take this original character who's, like, originally meant to be this sort of pathetic individual who's supposed to be whatever, and let's turn him into a Giga Chad who laughs at practically everything and is often fucking balances himself to try and be more fair to the pirates. Oh my god, I love that character. His particular edition is hilarious. I love him. But again, the Treasure Planet edition of Dr. Livesey, or I can't remember his particular... I'm... Is my ship being pushed? I feel like my ship's being pushed. Yeah, my ship's being pushed. Yeah, it's being pushed. Quickly. Get the fucking then, turn the engines on. Run. Now, like the story... Right. Turn the engines on. am being pushed. Let's see what we can do to try and fix this. Because we do need to fix this. Yeah, the winds are definitely pushing the ship around. We're even getting nudged back as well. Fucking hell. I'm half tempted to try and, like, lift this up a bit. I've not seen these cranes before. I'm going to kind of wedge myself, which sounds stupid, but bear with. I'm trying to wedge myself into one of these. Like, hook myself. Fucking hell, this wind is actually quite terrible. Oh god. I just want to fucking loot this place. I mean, not that there's a lot to loot from these kind of locations, but you never know. But like, the weather is actually quite extreme. Like, I'm not taking an Noviakov suit out, admittedly, but, you know, it's quite apparent that there is quite a bit of windage here. Oh, there's a fucking case. I can see it. I can see it. There's a goddamn lootable case there. What if I 180 this? That might do something. Not that it should, but you never know. We're being pushed at 1 miles per hour. Bearing in mind, this is a big fucking heavy ship, and we're being nudged by that. This is one hell of a storm. GG. I'm trying to find a place to land this shit. I do kind of wish you could set some kind of, put some kind of setting on, which is like your ship can maintain against it. But apart from putting it on cruise control for like 1 mile per hour at the ground, which won't work as soon as the wind stops. Let's see if this works. Might have just worked. Have I discovered a new means to stop your ship from dealing with wind? If that was the case, that's pretty cool. Right, let's be careful with the wind. Oh! Meh. Looks like it. God damn. Right, we need to get over to there as quickly as we can. It is blustery. Yeah, minus 122. That's not good. I'm sure once it goes to the day cycle it'll be fine, but it's obviously, we got to be careful. Right, let's check it, shall we? Okay. Well, that is definitely lootable in there, that's for certain. I haven't been to a place like this in yonks. Okay, so it's not as bad internally. What can I buy? Nothing. What can I sell? Probably nothing. Probably Scroop. This is probably a place where you can buy Scroop. Right. Let's, okay. Is it a place you can enter? Oh, God. Let's quickly, escape from this location. Once we go into the loot room, that should be fine. Fucking hell. I did see a lootable in this room. I did see that, which admittedly has kind of conned me. Really? Nothing? Nothing of loot? I saw the lootable. Right. Wow. Guessing this is one of those sort of seasonal jobs which, depending on where you want to be. But to be fair, if this was ever a game... Well, if you could deal with the salvage in this, oh my god, that would be amazing. That would be so cool. God, what are we up to? 2 hours? Jesus Christ. Well, stream lengthwise... Yeah, no, it's 2 hours. GG. God damn. We spent most of it talking about politics. Probably not a good thing. I probably shouldn't talk too much on politics in this particular game. Well, in terms of streaming, because A, it's an entertainment channel, not a politics channel. And B, the moment you start talking politics is when all sorts of people start showing up. So I'll probably hold off talking any more about that particular thing. Unless the subject comes up and people can be reasonable about it, you know. But on a positive, we did discover that we can, in fact, turn on the ship and leave it on a slight cruise control to keep the performance up. Yeah, ever so slightly works. Yeah, that works. Right. Well, I think considering the time and everything else, I am probably going to have to call it. So let's get back to Microtech. Get to Port Tressler. And let's get out of here. Nice, I get to park alongside you. That'll be dope. Nice. Voila. There you go. Where be the station? Have I missed it? Oh, I've missed it. Right, there we go. Let's make our way towards this wonderful port, which will be our home for a little bit. So we'll probably go for the next stream. We'll probably go for a DACA stream next time. But I might try and do something on Twitch. I'm going to try and see what's going on Twitch, because for some reason it doesn't seem to like me on theirs. But on Twitch, you never know. I might want to see what's going on Twitch, because obviously the market for for Star Citizen may not be as strong in this area.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Right, let's get you landed, boyo. Boyo. Nice.
Landing gear deployed.
Perfect. What a lovely landing. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Smooth, silk, and not at all using the third view. Right. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comment section down below, clicking on the like button, and of course subscribing to the channel. And if you want to see more of this stuff, or if you want to see more of my content from Star Citizen's perspective, you will be able to see this in the live stream remnants. I do attempt to try and stream a few times a week, but I may decide for the future stream to hop over to Twitch. So I will try and get like a link in the postage to try and see if that will work. I don't know if YouTube will like that, but fuck it. We'll see what happens. And yeah, I hope to catch you guys on the next one. This is Mr. Jaeger signing out. Have a good one, guys.